This is my first ASMR video. I watch a lot of ASMR, and I was thinking there could be more of it. So I figured I'd start making videos. We'll see how this goes. I selected one of my favorite movies. Once Upon a Time in the West. To tap on and talk about. If you're not familiar with this movie, it's a spaghetti western. I'm not sure if spaghetti western means anything to you, but it means it's a western directed by Italians. They probably wouldn't call them that today, but they're certainly called that back then. And I think this is the quintessential spaghetti western. Others may say, what about The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly? That's also a movie by Sergio Leone. And I do love The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but that one doesn't star my girlfriend, Claudia Cardinelli. She was my girlfriend growing up, see. It did, however, star Clint Eastwood. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, that is. I'm sure he was a lot of people's boyfriend growing up and what have you. In addition to my girlfriend, this movie also stars Charles Bronson. He plays a character without a name, similar to Clint Eastwood in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I should say the Dollars trilogy, but whatever. Though he is referred to as harmonica in this movie, because he plays a harmonica, so it's appropriate. We also have Jason Robards. He plays Cheyenne. And we have Henry Fonda. He plays Frank. Casting's a little atypical there. Henry Fonda. He's a villain in this. A great villain. And in short, the movie is about this man wanting to kill this man. There's some other stuff going on with selling of land, railroad. But ultimately, this guy wants to kill this guy. Though you're not entirely sure why at first. As the movie unfolds, more and more about this character's past comes to light, and why this guy stinks. In addition to this being an incredible looking movie, the scores, one of my favorites. Ennio Morricone is the composer composed a lot of movies, but this has some really striking guitars and the aforementioned harmonica. I think out of all the spaghetti westerns that Morricone has scored, this one's my favorite. Let's take a look at the back. So it looks like my camera doesn't autofocus. In fact, I'm not even sure if it has a manual focus. It's a little too late to find that out. So I was going to read the back of the box, and you're going to follow along, but since you can't read it, you'll just have to assume what I'm saying is what's written here. Sergio Leone's monumental picture, presented in a new, meticulously restored version, as well as the original theatrical version, ranks among his most admired achievements. In the dying days of the Old West, a struggle to control water in a dusty desert town embroils three hard-bitten gunmen in an epic clash of greed, honor, and revenge. Henry Fonda stars in his most sinister role as Frank, a hired killer who ruthlessly slays an entire family. Jason Robards plays Cheyenne, an infamous bandit framed for the slaughter. And Charles Bronson is the man. I guess they refer to him as the man on the back, but really, he's harmonica. A mysterious loner determined to exact vengeance for a grudge he refuses to divulge. An influence on countless directors, Leone's masterpiece is considered among the greatest westerns ever made. I personally consider it the greatest western ever made. So I have two versions here. The Blu-ray, which I'm, holding. Looks like they have both cuts on one disc. I'm actually struggling to remember what the unrated cut is, because there's an Italian cut. That's the longest version. There's the international cut. That's the second longest version. And then there's the theatrical cut, the American theatrical cut. So unrated cut. Is that the international cut? Is that the Italian cut? I assume it's the international cut. I don't think I've ever seen the Italian cut. Actually, I could probably find out by reading the back of the box. Okay. I really have no idea. So it has the unrated at 166 minutes. I'm pretty sure that's the international cut. It has a theatrical cut at 165 minutes. But that's not the length of the American theatrical cut. I don't think I've ever seen the American theatrical cut. I really have no idea what the difference is between the two cuts in this movie, and I've watched this disc multiple times. I must just default to the theatrical cut. Maybe I should have looked that up before starting this video. Oh well, next time. So I have the 4K here as well. This recently came out, I don't know, a few months ago, August. Was it January? Yeah, okay, so last year. And this is the import, the Italian version. Why do I have the Italian version? Well, it's slightly better than the US release. The encode is a little bit better. If encode is a little bit better means nothing to you, you're probably better off just buying the US release. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with this cover art. Actually, I'm not entirely sure what's going on with this cover art either. If you're familiar with the movie, it's very strange images they chose for the cover, especially for Frank here. Though I can't argue with Claudia's cleavage, but still a bit strange. This one seems to imply that Claudia's going to shoot a lot of people. I don't recall her shooting a single person, but she does hold a gun at some point. It does, however. Maybe you can see this. Probably not because of my camera. No, not really. But you can see Henry Fonda's blue eyes. Well, at least I can. He has very pretty blue eyes. I'd read the back of this one, but it's in Italian, and I can't read Italian, so let's see. Okay, so this one's 166 minutes. That's the, I would consider, I guess that's the international cut. That's the cut that majority of people have seen. So even though this is the Italian release, it does not have the Italian cut on it. It doesn't have the original audio in English either. Even though this is a movie made by Italians, it's in English. Okay. I didn't do that much tapping this video, but it's my first one, so maybe next time. Thanks for watching.